suddenly shake up the snack food world. And next, a knife salesman gets a case of the $1 Million Munchies.
This man is building a multi-million-dollar business, never had anything to do with popcorn in his life other than... Welcome back to The Big Idea. Okay, I got 3 words for you tonight that will change your life. No experience necessary. Tonight we're proving that whatever you're doing now has no bearing on what you could do the rest of your life. You can change your life. You can make the millions, and the experience a lot of times means bupkis. My next guest is a guy with a big idea for snack food. Just check out his background and try to guess what he does now.
Brian Taylor. He studied philosophy at University of Michigan. He sold Cutco knives door to door and taught tennis.
Okay, Brian Taylor, how you doing, buddy? So I'm going to guess, based on that resume, you sold knives, you taught tennis, I don't know, maybe a juggling knife tennis racket act. I would never have imagined that you are the king of...
popcorn seasoning.
I love it. This man is building a multi-million-dollar business, never had anything to do with popcorn in his life other than...
eating it and loving it, enjoying it all the time.
Take me back, University of Michigan, how this got started.
I was a college student eating popcorn like many college students do, and I was making it every night, and I was looking for ways to season it and flavor it, and I went to the store and I went online. I couldn't find anything, so I started making my own blends of seasonings and spices, and before I knew it, I had the concept, and I was creating flavors that tasted great, and I launched a business.
Weren't you daunted? Because obviously the whole premise tonight is you don't necessarily need the experience, and sometimes when you don't have the experience, you do things fresher. Weren't you at the time kind of maybe a little held back? Okay, well, I don't know the food business, I've never sold, weren't those things, was there a bell going off in your head saying, hey, buddy, you don't have any experience?
A little bit, but I'll tell you what, if I actually knew the food business at the time, I may not have done it in the first place. It's a really competitive business.
Hey, man, I want to stop everybody right now that if you don't have experience, that's a plus, because a lot of times if you know too much, you go, what? I can't do this. Here are the roadblocks. Exactly. You didn't know the roadblocks.
Exactly. I had the experience of eating it. I knew when you put real cheeses and real spices onto popcorn, it's a healthy, wholesome snack, and I knew it was delicious. I knew that it was healthy, and I know that a lot of Americans and a lot of my friends love popcorn. So
okay, so let's go back now. You've got this idea. You've kind of made these seasonings. Once again, you're a tennis pro. You sold knives. How did you take the first step to actually building a business?
The first thing that I did was start developing the flavors, and after that you come up with a name, and we kind of put together the strategy. And the idea was that we would put the seasonings in movie theaters, and there people would try them, and it would be a test of the concept. And once we proved that people liked the idea of seasoning popcorn, we'd then go to grocery stores. So we put the concept together, we kind of had the broad brushstrokes of the strategy, and worked with professional seasoning developers to help fine-tune the flavors, and we launched the product.
Right now, you sold in over 16,000 grocery stores, 14,000 movie theaters, Blockbuster, made $5 million last year. I want to go back that had you had experience, maybe some places you would have made mistakes that you didn't make because you didn't have experience. Show me how not having experience actually worked in your favor.
Along with launching the company in the first place, I think that sometimes when you make the sales pitch, I think certain buyers kind of appreciate the fact that you're coming from a natural, real perspective, coming to them with the perspective of being a popcorn lover that launched the company on their own rather than from a big corporate environment.
Yes, here's our latest brand extension and da-da-da, versus
exactly.
the kid with an idea.
Yeah, maybe the rough edges can be somewhat charming in a way.
What was the first sales pitch? Where was it? Who was it?
The first sales pitch ever was to a movie theater in the northern suburbs of Chicago. I brought them the seasoning, and it wasn't much of a sales pitch. It was saying, hey, I want you to put this in your theater for free, and I want to see what happens. And it was just a few weeks later that it was part of a larger theater chain, Landmark Theaters. Their downtown Chicago theater manager saw the product and called me up and said, I want this for my theater. And that was a really heartening experience, and I sent it to them, and they became our first customer.
I think Brian's formula, once again, everybody pay attention at home. This happens all the time. You got to make that first sale. Knock on that first door, give it to them for free. If you got a product that's good, it'll sell one movie theater, right? That's where it starts. One movie theater, one guy saying, okay, take it for free, put it out there. It's that simple. It's that simple. Now, after you get that first sale and the second sale, how'd you start to scale it then?
We started working with distributors and brokers, putting it in more stores. We went to trade shows, and we learned that trade shows were a really powerful tool for us to meet a lot of different people in the exact same industry. And from there, the success can really build on itself because it's a lot easier to make the sale after you have proven success. When we go to grocery stores now, we tell them, we say, yeah, they're selling great. It's incremental sales. Consumers love it. And it's a much easier sale now than it was 5 or 6 years ago.
Take me that first trade show, because a lot of people could be overwhelmed. Like, okay, well, I have an idea. And maybe I've made a package or I maybe won some. Ooh, I'm going to go to a trade show. Take me to that first trade show.
I was nervous. I didn't know exactly.
No experience at this point,
no
obviously.
experience. I didn't know the protocol for being at a trade show or what to do, what was appropriate. All we knew is that we spent a lot of money to be there, a lot of money, and we didn't have a lot at the time. And we started, every single person that walked by. And it was a lesson I learned from selling Cutco knives, which is it's a numbers game. There's a certain percentage of people that are going to be interested, so I didn't want to let a single person walk by without grabbing them. And every single person we talked to, we gave them our sales pitch, we'd learn from them. And we're still making sales now, and that we started trying to make 6 years ago.
Ryan Taylor, founder of Kernel Seasons, another example of no experience necessary. Never let experience be the thing that keeps you from doing what you love and making millions. We're showing you once and for all tonight, no experience necessary to make those millions.